Patch and Benny's Fire Safety Adventure. One sunny morning in the Enchanted Forest, Patch was excited to take Benny to Alphabet Grove, the magical place he had visited once where he had learned the ABCs. He wanted his friend, Benny, to experience the joy of learning such a wondrous thing, just as he had. As they journeyed through the familiar forest, Patch couldn't help but notice that the mist from the previous adventure was nowhere to be seen.
Benny, I wonder if the mist was the key to finding Alphabet Grove.
Patch said, feeling a little perplexed. Benny scratched his head thoughtfully.
It's possible, Patch. The mist might have some sort of magical quality that reveals the path to hidden places like Alphabet Grove.
Disappointed but undeterred, the two friends decided to explore the forest anyway. They knew that learning could be found in unexpected places, even without the guidance of the mystical mist. Patch's nose twitched as he sniffed the air.
Do you smell that, Benny? Something's burning.
Benny's ears perked up, and he nodded.
You're right, Patch. We should find out what's happening.
Following the scent, they reached a clearing where a campfire blazed. Around the fire sat Oliver the wise old owl, and Susan, the young girl who brings treats to the forest every day for all the animals. They were roasting marshmallows on sticks.
Hello, Patch and Benny.
Oliver hooted.
We're having a little campfire today. But remember, fire can be dangerous if not handled with care. It's a powerful force of nature, and it's essential to understand how it works to use it safely.
Patch and Benny eagerly settled down as Oliver began his enlightening lesson. He explained that fire was the result of a chemical reaction called combustion. It required three things to ignite and sustain: heat, fuel, and oxygen. When these elements combine, they produced flames and release energy in the form of heat and light. Patch and Benny listened closely as Oliver continued.
Fire safety is important, my friends. When you see fire, stay calm and keep a safe distance. Always make sure an adult is present when there's a fire.
Susan nodded in agreement.
And never play with matches or lighters. They're tools for grown-ups to use responsibly.
But with great power comes great responsibility.
Oliver cautioned.
Fire must be respected and handled with care. Always remember these essential safety rules when dealing with fire.
Oliver blinked his wise eyes.
Fire can spread quickly and hurt things in its path. That's why we build campfires in designated areas, away from trees and bushes. And remember, only adults should start and tend to fires.
Benny asked.
What if our fur catches fire, Oliver?
Great question, Benny. If your fur accidentally catches fire, remember to stop, drop, and roll. Gently pat the fire out, and if you're near water, jump in to put it out completely.
Susan added.
Always keep a safe distance from fire to avoid accidents or burns. Never leave a fire unattended. Use appropriate tools, such as fire extinguishers or water, to control and extinguish the fire if needed. Ensure the area around the fire is clear of flammable materials, like dry leaves or branches. When you're done with the fire, make sure it is entirely extinguished, and the embers are cool before leaving the site.
Patch and Benny listened attentively, absorbing every piece of information Oliver and Susan shared. Patch and Benny exchanged serious glances, realizing the importance of fire safety.
Thank you, Oliver and Susan.
Patch said.
We'll remember this.
As the sun dipped below the horizon, the campfire's warm glow illuminated the clearing. Oliver and Susan shared stories of their own fire safety experiences, making sure Patch and Benny understood the importance of being prepared and cautious. Feeling a sense of responsibility, Patch and Benny promised to spread the knowledge they gained. They knew it was essential to educate others about fire safety to prevent accidents and protect their beloved forest. Side by side, they headed home. The warmth of the fire safety lessons still fresh in their minds. As they rounded a bend in the path, they spotted Sean, one of the kind squirrels that helped them learn to count to 10. He was busily arranging acorns in a neat row. His tail twitched in rhythm with his actions as he focused on his task.
Hello there.
Patch called out, his tail wagging. Sean looked up with a warm smile, his eyes crinkling at the corners.
Well, hello, young travelers. What brings you to this neck of the woods?
Benny stepped forward, his ears packed up.
We've been learning about fire safety.
Sean's curiosity was piqued.
Fire safety, you say? That's an important topic indeed. It's crucial for everyone to understand how to stay safe around fire. Fire is a wondrous element that has brought light, warmth, and comfort to beings for ages. Gathering around a cozy fire in the fireplace, like the one I have here,
Sean said, opening the door to his inviting cottage and motioning towards the crackling fire.
can be a truly enchanting experience. While it can provide us with many benefits, like warmth, light, and the ability to cook food, it can cause great harm if not handled with care and respect.
Patch and Benny exchanged excited glances before following Sean into the cozy cottage. The warmth of the fire greeted them, and the comforting ambience of the room made them feel right at home. Patch's gaze was intent.
Oliver and Susan taught us about fire safety, like staying away from fire and never playing with matches.
Sean nodded appreciatively.
They've given you valuable guidance. Fire safety is about understanding the power of fire and knowing how to use it responsibly. Fire needs heat, fuel, and oxygen to exist. When these elements come together, they create flames and energy. Fire can be mesmerizing, but it's also something to approach with caution. Always have an adult present when dealing with fire and never leave it unattended.
Benny said.
Susan and Oliver also taught us what to do if our clothing or fur catches fire. We should stop, drop, and roll.
Sean nodded appreciatively.
That's good to hear. But there's more to know. Imagine you're in a place with a fire, and suddenly, the flames grow wild. What would you do?
Patch pondered for a moment.
I guess we'd need a way to escape safely.
Sean smiled.
Exactly. Every home, just like every forest, needs a plan for emergencies. In case of a fire, families should have an escape plan. Know 2 ways out of every room and have a meeting place outside.
Benny added.
And what if we're trapped?
Sean's eyes twinkled as he continued.
If you're ever trapped by fire and can't get out, stay low to the ground where the air is less smoky. Cover your nose and mouth with a cloth if you have one, and find a window to signal for help. Shout loudly, and if possible, use a whistle or a pot to make noise.
Patch's tail wagged.
And what about putting out small fires, like the one Susan uses for the campfire?
Sean nodded.
Ah, you're talking about fire extinguishers. They're like magical tools that can help stop small fires from growing. Make sure you have one in your home, and know how to use it. Remember the acronym, PASS. Pull the pin, aim at the base of the fire, squeeze the handle, and sweep from side to side.
Benny added.
We'll remember that, Sean. And what about candles? They're like little flames, right?
Sean nodded solemnly.
Yes, candles are beautiful, but they should never be left unattended. Always blow them out before leaving a room. And keep them away from anything that can catch fire, like curtains or papers.
As the firelight danced on the walls, Patch and Benny absorbed every word of Sean's wisdom.
Thank you, Sean. We'll make sure to share this knowledge with everyone.
Patch said. Sean patted Patch's head.
You're welcome, young ones. Fire is a friend when respected, but remember, it's also something to be cautious of. Share what you've learned, and you'll help keep your forest friends safe.
Though they hadn't found Alphabet Grove that day, they understood that every learning adventure was valuable, and they eagerly looked forward to their next journey, wherever it may lead them. With newfound wisdom about fire safety, they knew they could approach future learning adventures with a blend of curiosity and responsibility. Side by side, Patch and Benny headed back home, ready to embrace the wonders and mysteries that the world had in store for them, always seeking to learn, explore, and share their knowledge with others.